Good morning, good morning, good morning, Big B.
Good morning.
How's
How
it
you doing?
going?
Going good.
I'm
Sorry,
good.
dropped my
I'm
camera
good.
here a little bit. There we go. Good morning.
Good morning.
There we go.
Happy
How's
Sunday. Happy Sunday to you.
is it Sunday? Is it Sunday?
Yes. Yes.
It never feels like I don't know why it feels like a Wednesday to me.
Ooh, must be something to
It does.
that.
Feels like the middle of the week to me.
Hmm. Make sure I'm
But
not.
yeah, I just woke back up and washed my face and prayed and stuff like that. But I woke up and ate and then went back to sleep. Ooh, that back to sleep was good.
It's like the couch
It,
sleep, right?
it really was. It really was. But y'all, welcome everybody. I want to make sure we got everything going live on Facebook, on Instagram, and YouTube. And we are. Looks like we're up and live on my side. Everything good on your side?
Everything's great. Everything's great. Um, it's seemingly, and I'm not gonna bring that up. Yeah, everything's great.
There we
Let's do
go. Let's
it.
do this. So this is
Everything's great.
I want to say the 53rd day.
Yes, 53 days, Brandon. But who's counting, right? Who's counting?
I'm counting.
You counting?
I'm counting.
All
I
right.
need I need every pat on the back we can get for this one. This is great. I think this is incredible
Yeah,
that we've been doing
yeah,
it for this long.
yeah. Me too. Me too. I look forward to us being able to say 365 days, y'all.
Oh my goodness, I can't even. As of right now, it's like it's hard to imagine
Yeah, yeah,
to do it for that long. But you know what? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
yeah. We're gonna do our best, y'all. We're gonna do our best. And speaking of that, I've had one person that say, "Hey, I might be interested if you need someone to sit in for either of you." So I'm going to try, God willing, to be here by any means necessary. But hey, we need some people just in case because
Yeah,
this isn't meant to stop.
I will be going to out of the country for a little bit um, as of next Tuesday. So we will figure something out. But maybe I can do one or two while I'm gone, or I don't know. Maybe we just have a substitute for that time. But I will miss y'all for that short time. I'll be gone for maybe a week and a half. But when I come back, we'll drop right back in. But to everyone else, man, welcome everybody to the End of Season podcast with your beautiful host, the motivational speaker, the butterfly, and her son, myself, Brandon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. On the 53rd installment of the End of Season podcast, where we have been going through uh, the book Daily Motivations for African American Success by Dennis Kimbro, as you can see right there on the other side of the screen. My mother's holding it up. If you haven't gotten this book, guys, please go get the book. If you're watching this, if you've been tuning in, then go get the book. There's no reason not to. It's an investment in yourself. I'm sure you spent more than this book cost yesterday or the day before on something that doesn't help you. I'm not saying I'm sure, but most likely we've impulse purchased some things. Well, I want you to buy something with intention. Go and buy this book and read through these daily passages, these daily motivations for African American success. A little bit about the book. Daily Motivations for African American Success will help you focus on the thoughts, the attitudes, and deeds that will lead to the achievement of your true goals in 365 short but powerful motivations, one for each day of the year. Dennis Kimbro, author of the popular Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice, leads us to discover how to use the present moment and our own gifts to transcend labels, cultivate a positive attitude, become wise enough to know when to say yes and when to say no, and to look inward for answers to life's challenges. So each motivation begins with words of wisdom from such distinguished and celebrated African Americans as Malcolm X, Marion Wright Elderman, Whoopi Goldberg, Malcolm X. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on with hundreds of others. This treasure trove of practical inspiration will give you fresh encouragement every single day of the year, but what it teaches you will last a lifetime. So this book helps you really think about every thought which enters our mind, every word that we utter, every deed that we perform makes its impression on the innermost fiber of our being. So make the right impression every morning by starting your day right here with us on the End of Season podcast. So, Mom, anything you got? Anything you got? Any comments? Any people you want to shout out? Anything like that?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just ready to jump in and get my juice this morning. How about that?
Are you?
Get my
All right.
fuel. Put the gasoline
Let's
in my car so I don't pull my brake up. How about that?
before you so you don't break down, right?
I don't break down. Let
That's what
me
I'm talking
break
about.
it down, right?
And
Was
that's
it
it.
yesterday?
That
Let
was
me break
yesterday.
it down for you. Let's do it, Brandon.
Good.
Let's
So
break it down for them. How about that?
let's do it. Jump
Yeah.
right
Good
into it. Let me
morning,
get my camera and
Brandon. Good
everything right.
morning, Mike. Yeah, you're good. I don't know what you're doing there, but you're good. Linda Davis is in with us
There we go.
again. Great morning to you and Brother Mike, Uncle Mike. Big Mike, running back,
Good
is in
morning.
the house with us as well.
Cool. Well, today's passage. Well, first, welcome. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all coming through. I got some people on IG Live too as well, man. Thank y'all for showing up. Really appreciate that. So today's passage. Ooh, man, if I can do this one, y'all know I'm fasting, so I can't do this one. But it says, "Wake up and smell the coffee." That sounds so good right now. Wake up and smell the coffee. That's the title for March 24th.
Brandon,
Uh,
smell,
see there, you just gonna rub it
smell,
in. You gonna rub
smell,
it in. So
taste.
wrong. Y'all see that? She's supposed to be helping me out here. Look,
Oh my
I ain't gonna pick up the cup of coffee, and I ain't gonna put
Don't pick it up. Don't put it down. All right,
it.
I'll pick it up for
All
you,
right, so
and I'll drink to that.
you go ahead. You go ahead. Eventually, you'll be fasting right here with me.
All right, let's go.
Yeah,
One more.
yeah, nah, oh yeah, yeah.
All right,
Now you
y'all.
ready? All
Yeah.
right. Wake up and smell the coffee. And our distinguished African American who gives us a quote today is from Mario Van Peebles, who's an actor and film director, who says, "Every movie that I produced, I saw in my mind first. Every movie that I produced, I saw in my mind first." And here's the passage. Are there special traits, habits, or qualities common to all successful people? For centuries, mankind has been seeking common chords in all achievers. But these traits are not as obvious as one would expect. You need only to read a series of profiles of famous individuals to realize how different each is from the other, how varied are their methods of operation, and how different their work habits, and how unique their personal lives. Still, there is one practice that many have in common, especially during their linear years. They were able to vividly picture themselves having already attained their goals, and they constantly retained that image in their minds. In other words, they were aware that as a man thinketh, so is he. There's a significant saying in the book of Job, quote, "The thing that I have feared has come upon me, and I have seen the truth of this demonstration many times. On a flight to the Far East, for example, a man was complaining bitterly when the stewards neglected to serve him coffee. 'She passed me by,' he reported. 'She served everyone around me and left me sitting here. But that always happens to me. I fully expect it.'
Mhm.
Sure enough, on the return flight, with an entirely new crew, the stewardess not only forgot to bring his coffee, she forgot to serve him his meal. Fiery mad, he pressed the call button. Quote, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry," she said. "I can't imagine how I overlooked you." "They do it all the time," the man confessed. Again, Job was right. Your imagination is your magic wand. Use it to visualize success. And the quote for today that we read three times, one for you, one for me, and one for the person that you're going to send this to, which I expect somebody has somebody here that they sent this link to, or somebody else watched this in the season podcast yesterday. But the quote that we read three times is, "I will visualize my positive goals in order to reach them." I will visualize my positive goals in order to reach them. And last time, I will visualize my positive goals in order to reach them. What you got for us, Butterfly? What's your impression? Wake up and smell the coffee. Well, you done drunk it, you done smelled it, made it. It might be a little too late for you.
Well, I didn't smell it until I made it. It didn't just smell by itself, right? So I had to
That's
do
right.
some work. I had to go in there and clean out the stall to get the pony, right? Yeah, if y'all were rocking with us, you'll understand that. Brandon, this is so I got to share something with you guys, very
Yeah.
personal. So yesterday, your babies, grandbabies were here, right? And y'all, being a grandmother is just there are no words to express. It's double love, right? There's like it's double Brandon, right? Times two. Each one of them are double, triple. And what's interesting, Brandon, I don't know if you know this, even yesterday, I call them Brandon. And I shared it with a friend who was over here that listens to the show. She was over here and I said, it's kind of strange. I called them Brandon. And so I guess I kind of go back into this mother mode. But they are so rewarding to my being, to my thought process, to the way that I want to live, to the example that I want to be, that I woke up in my feelings this morning about God, will I be here? And actually, my friend and I mentioned that to her yesterday. Like, I just pray that I'm here to see them grow up. And so I went to bed with that on my mind. I woke up with it on my mind like, God, I just want to be here to see them live. I want to see the results of what we are trying to do with them, meaning create a positive mindset, encouraging them that like one of our days said, the father had said, you are the best at it. You are the absolute best. I want them to have strength. Matter of fact, with my grandson, Tupac, I have to tell him, he's a bit younger. I said, no. And I remember the first time I said this to him, I said, Grandma doesn't understand this language. You have to talk with confidence and power and all that. And so he says, Grandma, what is confidence? So he asked me to tell him what confidence meant. And since that time, when I say it now, his tone changes. He stands a little taller. But this morning, while I'm in my feelings about will I be here to see this, I start to vision myself being the oldest woman living in the world. Like, I want to vision myself being that so that I can see them rather than think about, will I be here? How about, and this just happened this morning. I've been up for quite a while. Like, I just had to get up. I could not lay there anymore. So I'm walking around, touching, feeling, doing my thing. But I just said, you know what? I saw it in my mind, me being just the oldest grandma in the world, right? Which means I could still be the oldest mama, Brandon. So don't get in your feelings, right?
Yeah, you keep thinking that. You keep going with that vision. I like that vision. You're gonna be an
Yeah.
old
So
woman walking around here.
yeah. So I was smelling the coffee this morning, you guys. I really was. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna see this. And I actually could see myself in my mind
Mm.
just kind of getting around, with doing what I do. So that's my spill on it for me. Wake up and smell the coffee, but you got to fix the coffee, y'all. You got to fix it. Got to let the break down and all of that. So I'm gonna give this one over to you because I've already had my day with this one,
Hmm.
my
I might need to
morning.
read it again. No, I think you like definitely keep thinking that waking up, smelling the coffee, and visualization. It's wake up and smell the coffee. What if what if you smelled the coffee before you made the coffee? Right? Have you ever done something so much to where you thought it already happened? Or I'll say this: have you ever I've been at a table before. Very distinctly. Some friends. I was younger, and I think I was in high school or something. And we were eating somewhere out or on a trip or something like that. And I had uh, I had a sweet tea, and then someone else had a water, and someone else had a Sprite. And I remember all our drinks were in the same general area, and we're talking and laughing, and we got everybody got straws inside of the drink, and I grab a drink. Man, I'm drinking my sweet tea, drinking my sweet tea, drinking my sweet tea. By the time I got to the end, I realized I wasn't drinking sweet tea. I was drinking somebody else's drink. But to me, it tasted like sweet tea because I thought I was just sure that I was drinking sweet tea, but I had been drinking my friend's drink the whole time. And so the mind is very powerful, right? It's what's called psychosymptomatic. You can be psychosymptomatic, meaning whatever you believe truly, and whatever you think with surety, that's the way it is for you. That's what your experience is. And so if the mind is strong enough to make me taste sweet tea when it was really Sprite or water, then imagine how much power there is if I just decide that this is the way things are going to be for me. These are the, I mean, God willing, I'm so sure right now that this will happen, that I will be able to achieve this, that the rest of my steps become ordered in that way. It's almost like the power of intention, the power of visualization becomes very concrete in a very fluid future of potentialities, of potential things that could happen, potential realities, right? And when you become concrete in that, in this fluidity of consciousness, everything else moves around you like a rock in a river.
Mm-hmm.
The and it might make you smooth a little bit. It might change the outward appearance. Certain things about it might change, just like the rock going through water. Eventually, that river rock becomes smooth because of the erosion, right? But the water still goes around that rock instead of being taken away with the rest of the sediment. Why? Because it has more density than the water itself, right? So how dense, how concentrated, how sure are you? That density means how sure is that thought? How confident are you in your ability to bring that about with your own actions? And I think once you become confident in that, once you become sure in that way, everything else kind of moves around you. So, Mom, I can't really see you. Your face is
I
under
see
the
it.
day 53. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, let me see. So that's one of the things that I got from it is that, after waking up, you can smell the coffee before it's brewed. And it's the expectation of the coffee that gets you up in the first to be like, I'm going to go make some. So that's one of the things I found. But thinking about what are the special traits and habits and qualities that are common in successful people. And out of all the things, they said that they all vividly pictured themselves having already attained their goals. When you got to get up and go to work, right? Like, or you got to get up and do something. Don't you visualize yourself with that coffee? You're like, oh man, if it weren't for that coffee, all I need is this coffee and I should be good. Okay, I'm tired. Nope, I got up late. Okay, I'm gonna just get me some coffee and that's the start to my day, right? Wake up and smell the coffee, but also waking up and smelling the coffee is a colloquial saying, right? Like a common saying, which means like wake up and see the opportunity, like realize the power that you have, realize that there's something in front of you um, that you may be minimizing to a certain degree. And I think in this, like somebody says, hey, wake up and smell the coffee. That's like let me get your attention. This is like, be
Mm-hmm.
aware of this. And I think that attention, that intention, um, is what you're waking up, what you're coming, what Dennis Kimbro is asking you to really realize the potential power of your mind and your ability to visualize, like see a vision in your mind, see it with eyes that aren't physical, and then um, that helps in the process of making that a reality. So that's really the main thing that I got from it. It wasn't too terribly um, too terribly deep, I guess, or too many things that I could see. But like in the quotes, is every movie that I produce, I saw in my mind first. There's a lot of stuff that has to go on with production and
Mhm.
finance, directing, and picking actors and all this. But all you need to do is see it in your mind first. And anything that's, whether it's the table you're sitting at, or you're sitting on, or the car that you have, it first existed in somebody's mind first. So what things that don't exist right now in your life that you want to see in your life do you want to foster in your mind? Be the architect of your thoughts. Be the architect of your intention. Be the architect of your future, and that requires you laying a foundation of first making designs and plans and picking a place, and then laying a foundation and building it in your mind. So that's what I got for you. Just wake up and smell the coffee, or the potential power of visualization in your mind for your success.
So, Brandon, I want to go really quickly about having already attained their goals. I may try to figure out how many times goals has been mentioned in these passages, because think about that, you guys. How can you vision or have a vision or smell the coffee about your goals if you've not written them down and made them plain, if you don't know what they are, if you don't think about those goals on a daily basis throughout the day, if you are not intentional about your plan for the goals. So think about that and just kind of vision or think about how many times goals have been mentioned during these 53 days. And I will. I mentioned the other day that I'm going to go back and see because most of these start with I will. I will. Right. And another thing, this talks about how successful people, what they have in common. And it tells us that, they were able to visualize and attain that goal in their mindset. I remember, and I've shared this before here, well, somewhere on the platform, that I remember hearing about a study that the military did amongst those who seemingly were successful in all that they did, their jobs, their marriage, their children, were seemingly successful. And the one thing that all of them had in common is they made sure that they were okay first, that they loved themselves. They really went about their goals. They were good people because they were happy people because they were pursuing their purpose. They knew what they wanted. They made sure that they loved themselves first. And sometimes we don't do that. We feel guilty about taking care of ourselves first. But if you don't put the mask on, or if you don't do what you need to do for you, you can't help anyone else. They say hurting people hurt people. I say healing people or healed people help people heal. They no longer hurt people. So that is another one to add to, other than seeing that vision, make sure you, or that goal, make sure you take care of it. Nurture that goal without feeling guilty. Because sometimes we'll go and try to do everything for everybody else, and then we're broke. Our break is up, as we talked about yesterday. That break is up. What you're doing when you do that is you're pulling your break up. Now, do we help people? Absolutely. But every too much water will kill you. Isn't that something? As great as it is for you, drinking too much water will kill you.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to throw that out there. Another short, sweet, but good one.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed too is how it got worse for the man on the flight. Did you notice that little small detail that
Hmm.
the originally didn't get a coffee, so he complained, right? And he said they always do this to me. I fully expect it.
Mm.
And then on the flight back, not only did he not get the coffee, but he didn't get the meal too, right? This is
Oh.
something that he fully expected. And so to me, it's there's a compounding interest to negative thinking. There's a compounding interest into accepting. a negative outcome. It gets worse, gets worse, gets worse. And I think that same potential, the same absolute value in a sense, meaning it can go positive or negative. The same potential could go to the positive. You could have compounding interest in the positive if you continue to think positive. These are people that people say, "Oh, you're just lucky," or people that might say that I'm lucky. I'm just a lucky person. So I think everything's gonna work out. Things you do work out for them. But I want us to really focus on the power of the mind in this. And I think if he subconsciously, right, if he consciously thinks that he is going to be overlooked, then he consciously do the things that make him easier to overlook. It might be the seats in the airplane are blue. He doesn't even realize. He's like, you know what? In his head, he's like, she's gonna look me over anyway. She'll probably just see me as invisible next side of the seat. And he mistakenly picks blue to wear that day, the same color blue as the seat. So he just into the seat, but he doesn't make a conscious decision like I'm gonna be a chameleon in the seat. But he subconsciously picks the same. Then he, instead of, when you're expecting something, when you're expecting someone to serve you, you look them in the eyes. There's a um there you can sense someone's expectation. Have you sitting in a room and then turned around and saw someone looking at you, didn't know why you turned around, you just felt something like somebody was watching you, then someone you knew and hadn't seen in a long time, and they were wondering if it was you, or have you ever thought of somebody and then have you ever heard a song in your head, and then as soon as you got in the car and turned on the radio, that song is playing on the same part you were singing in your head? So there's something about the power of the mind and the tuning of it into this collective consciousness. Um, bees, for example, if you do something to one of the bees, they all know about it. Or like ants. If one ant finds something interesting somehow, some way, I don't know if it's the little antennas on their heads, just by some type of biochemical, hormone release or something, but all the other ants will know that there is something that's maybe attacking, or there's a food source. And I do think that there's a type of hive mind that exists with people, with families, with societies. And so imagine that collective consciousness, what you're adding to it. If you're adding, I expect for everyone to look over me. You might not make that eye contact with the stewardess while everyone else is looking at it. She comes, yes, can I get a coffee, please? Whereas he's like, she ain't even gonna
Like
notice
you don't
me,
even want the
right?
coffee. Like I don't want coffee. Don't stop here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so now
Yeah.
she's walking by like, oh, he's good. I can just tell. Using her intuition. She's using her hive mind. She's not
Yeah.
consciously deciding not to serve you. She is serving the intention that you into the world.
Wow.
She's serving the mentality that you have reverberated throughout the world. So I think it's irrational for him to think that. I think that was a feeling, right? And have you ever heard scientists say that human beings put off their own electromagnetic field? Have you ever heard that? That's
No.
that's why every time you squeeze your hands, what contracts is a sodium potassium pump, right? It's electricity, it's conductivity. You are literally a battery walking around. That's why you can touch a battery and it's different. Like the reading, the amps will be different. Or you can touch something and it shock you, of friction, because you are charged yourself. Um, why is that, right? They say that there have been studies that show that what you think is based on is electric. What you feel is magnetic. So you, like the earth, that's why a compass works, and we're made from the same elements as the earth, water and other periodic elements. If the earth has a magnetic field around it, an electromagnetic field around it, then why wouldn't you? And if your mind, your thought, electric, your heart is magnetic, whatever you're feeling, you're attracting to yourself. Whatever you're thinking, you're putting out there. Whatever you're feeling, you're pulling into you. and that's how it works. So watch your thoughts, tap into your feelings, and be conscious of them and those emotions, because they have an impact on your day, on your living experience. So really take those captive, take inventory of self, and be aware of yourself, about your thoughts, about your feelings, and know that you are responsible for your feelings, no one else. You say, oh, well, triggered me. Who told you to be a gun? Just sitting there aimlessly like a tool, waiting to be pulled, waiting to be loaded, waiting to be fired. Aren't you more than that? So I think anything that you feel, you are responsible for. Yep, that's right. You are responsible for everything that you have ever felt. No matter what, no matter how horrible it was, no matter what it was, if it wasn't just straight physical pain, something that was pricking you, then the way that you felt about it was your own creation. I'm not saying that they didn't have anything to do with it, but what the product was in addition to you. The factor that multiplied it the most was your response or reaction to it. So be take time to really take inventory about what goals you have. In order to have a goal, it has to be something here, right? It has to be a visualization. I have a goal to, I don't say I have a goal to wake up this morning when I'm already awake, right? So when you as your goals, just know that that's the first step. That's a first step in participating in active and, right, this magnetic thought process, and not just visualizing. I'm sure the people you'll hear Joe Dispenza, another great author, writer, and thinker, who says that like your habits, your body will get stuck into these similar habits. Are there habits that you might need to break? Like the beginning of this passage said, what are the habits, qualities that successful people have? People are trying to figure that out, and it might be different for every person. The habits of someone a successful writer will be different from somebody who wants to be a successful basketball player or a successful musician or a successful doctor. The habits look different, but the intention, the dedication, the process, the the visualization, and the goal setting is the same. So for me, that's what this was about. This was deeper, a little bit deeper, as I look at it, finding the nuance in how life became worse for the man the next time, pounding interest of his thoughts and feelings. So what interest do you have? What interest are you compounding in your life? Are you adding negativity to your interest? Are you taking the balance up in the debt that you have to pay to yourself? Or are you paying down that principal? you know and is that and until it becomes an investment. It went from a debt, you paid down that principal, and now that interest is in reverse, working on your end. Now the bank paying you. And the bank is your mind. Did you take a loan out of your mind, or are you investing in your mind? Are you in debt to yourself, or are you investing in yourself? Are you do you have equity in yourself? Right. And so the people that you mentioned that take care of themselves have obviously made a choice, that became successful, that you mentioned. The people that are successful and invest in themselves uh, uh, have made a choice to have equity in themselves, because that's what you do when you invest in something. You're saying that I have equity here. I'm purchasing a share. You know, they call those equities. Oh, I'm going to buy some equities today. That means I'm going to buy some shares or some ownership in businesses. So I'm giving up something. Yeah, my time, my thought, my dedication, but I'm investing in myself because I have equity in myself. Do you have equity in yourself, or does your job have more equity in you than you do? Do you just go to work, come home, rinse and repeat? Does the job have more equity than you? You know how easy it is for them to fire anyone and replace you. So why should they have more equity in you than you know what I'm saying? So I
Right.
don't want to get too long and drawn off on this. But are you investing in yourself? What positive qualities and character traits and habits do you want to build? And that all starts with goal setting. That all starts with, no, they're not going to overlook me. It starts with, this is what I do. I'll drive. I go to the grocery store. I go to Costco. I see it's a full parking lot. I go to the mosque. It's Taraweeh, or it's Ramadan, and everybody's pulled up at the mosque, and it's raining outside. You know what? It's all good because I'm gonna get a parking spot right at the front, baby. I just know it. I'm gonna get a parking spot right. I don't know what it is. Somebody who got there before me is gonna have to leave for whatever reason because make it so. I believe God willing, and I'm just gonna ride around until I find the spot that I know is for me. I see myself parking in the spot right there in the front. I see it. I fully expect it. As the man said in the book, I fully expect it. He could have easily said, not only is this lady gonna give me coffee, but she gonna give me good attitude too. If I
Yes.
ain't married, she might give me the number. You know, you never know. If y'all, for the brothers out there, be positively expectant about what's gonna happen in your situation and watch how it changes. Anyway, when you go into a job interview, if you go in there like, well, I think that I'm perfect for this job, and um, I think I would be a good fit, and maybe I can even grow it. I think, really, is that how it is? Maybe you don't sound sure of yourself. How can I be sure about you, Tired? But the person that comes in and says that I'm perfect for this job. This job was made for me. I'm a perfect addition to this company. I bring value to this company. I can't imagine doing anything else. I woke up this morning knowing, just happy I was going to be here today because I know this is for me. And now it's your chance. I'm not here for the interview. You guys are here for the interview. I could go anywhere, but this is the place where I figure, I could probably not probably, I could make the most impact. Now it's your turn to catch up to what I already see. People are lazy mentally. If you already have the vision, they just attach to your vision with it rather than spending the time to visualize it themselves. You have already done the hard work. If you have already the apples from the tree and you got a basket sitting right there, why would I pass your basket of apples and not ask you for one and try to climb the to get the apple at the top that you left? I just be like, man, I'm hungry. You mind if I get an apple? I'll pay you for an apple. So,
Hey,
penny for
Brandon.
your thought.
Brandon, you make a good point, and I want to go back to the airline steward is passing the guy back when you talk about the vision. She's like, "Oh, there's 100 people on this plane. He doesn't want coffee. Let me keep by him because again, she's feeding off of him, off of what he's already thinking, right?
Yeah,
She sees his
yeah.
vision. They're gonna pass me by, right? And they say there's a saying that we attract who we are. Maybe our feelings, people attract our feelings of what we're feeling. I do believe that. And so a man thinketh so is he. It also makes me think about my Walmart journey. Y'all, I used to hate Walmart. I would literally go to Walmart and sit in the car and pray before I go in there. And this prayer is more for them than it is me because I felt like I'm just gonna burst out. Something's gonna happen. It's gonna go wrong. And now I can walk in Walmart. I have no anxiety about going to Walmart. Walmart didn't change, Tammy did, right? Tammy's thought process has changed. So I can go in there and have me a good time now, right? So it's like we really have to be mindful of what we're thinking and what we are attracting. And how can I again love you or see the value in you if I don't first see it in myself? That has to come from that. How I see you has to come from how I see myself. And then you no longer become the problem because I am the answer, right? I'm my own
Mm,
answer. I'm not looking for something in you through you. I'm looking to give to you and for you to
mm,
give to me. I'm not trying to always give. Just go back to the cup of sugar. If you come over here want some sugar, bring the cup. If you want a bowl, bring the bowl. If you want a bag, bring the bag. If you don't have it, let's talk about it. Let's talk about what's keeping you from having the cup, the bowl, even the sugar. So this is just another beautiful one that I will continue in my life as well. Wake up and smell the coffee, right? That's great. So many things that we can add to that. So that's all I have, Brandon. I got a lot from what you said. So thank you for sharing all of that.
Thank you too. Thank you too. And that's all I got for you guys today too. I hope that what we said today benefited you guys, and if it benefited me just to have this conversation and this discussion about waking up and smelling a coffee that I can't have right now because I'm fasting. But When I do, I tell you what, I still smell it. I still smell that coffee. I might just go in there and grab the coffee beans and act like, it gives me some go, some good. So I appreciate y'all. Again, this is the 53rd day of the End This Season podcast where we've been going through the book Dennis Kimbro's book, Daily Motivations for African American Success. Welcome. I hope y'all enjoyed the cookout. Got a plate to eat. Took something home, a little piece of something, some coleslaw, something for thought to someone else that you know and love. Please share. If you don't share this link, which I think you should, and you will, but if you don't share the link, at least share the value that you've learned. Use some of the things that we've discussed, the some of the values and just the realities that we've been exploring in this book, and use some of those principles and things that we've been discussing to help other people. If you're being poured into, which we're attempting to do, we're attempting to pour into anyone that shows up here. We don't get paid for this at all. The only benefit we get from this is that it's heart work instead of hard work. This is something that we're doing, for ourselves, for us internally. Also, we see the benefit that could go to other people. So thank y'all for showing up. And this was a vision of ours, to have people coming here and listening to this. We wouldn't be days in if we didn't have a goal, if we didn't visualize this before it happened. And now look at us. We're all here. We have changed lives. If we hadn't have done this, you might be somewhere different right now, instead of being right here with us every morning. Yeah. So thank y'all so much for being with us, for participating, for showing up every morning. And we're going to keep this thing going. We're going to end today's show by a reading of the title, a reading of the quote by a distinguished African American, and 3 readings of our affirmation. So today's title was "Wake Up and Smell the Coffee." And our quote was, every movie was from Mario Van Peebles, who's an actor and film director. He said, every movie that I produced saw in my mind first. And our affirmation for the day, 3 times, remember, me, you, person you're going to send this to. I will visualize my positive goals in order to reach them. I will visualize my positive goals in order to reach them. And last time, this is for the person you're thinking about that you're going to send this to. Remember, your feelings are magnetic. Your mind is electric. So we're going to send this thought out to this person who you're thinking about. Tell them in your mind's eye, I will visualize. Tell them to say this. Say, hey, you. Say, I will visualize my positive goal in order to reach them. Visualize, visualize, visualize. All right, y'all. That's all we got for today. Thank y'all for rocking with us for the last 43, almost 44 minutes. And we will be back here same time, same place. Go to YouTube, like it, subscribe to it. Please visit our channel. We could really use the help on YouTube to get more exposure, to help more people. We don't ask for anything from you guys, but just to share the good news. Share the good news. That's all we got for you. We'll be here tomorrow, 7 a.m. Y'all take care.
Peace.